And we are officially live, our very first live stream debut.
Oh God, help us.
Yeah, so now if we say things, it's forever on the internet now. But either way, welcome to On the Ring Apron, sister subsidiary group of Mania Club and Foundation for Hope. So we're excited to be here, excited to see all of our new things. We're now also, for the first time ever, in 1080p. 4K is the next step. So now at this point, they're going to be able to see like the sweat and the things coming off here.
Hey, don't be judging. We fine for a lot. Okay?
I say our air conditioner is a little on the fritz right now, but either way, we're here to talk about Heatwave. So, I know. It's like we set it up, didn't we? Either way, I'm Steve.
I'm Alyssa. Y'all know who I am. Let's get this
They do not. These might be brand new viewers.
This is Kia.
That's
Vroom,
Kia.
vroom, like the car. Now
Vroom,
we know who
vroom.
I am.
There you go. Either way, talking about NXT Heatwave, it's going to be from Lowell, Massachusetts this upcoming Sunday. I was going to say the last live event to go on Peacock before the new move to ESPN, but they said that NXT's staying on Peacock. So it looks like they'll continue to keep doing that.
I'm just ready for all of the shows to go to Netflix, so we can just look at them all in one place.
I would agree with that. Sentiment up to a certain extent.
With different locations, it's like I'm having to pay extra money to watch different wrestling shows.
You pushing it, TKO.
Right.
I know that's a lot. That's a lot of money. Not all of us have that kind of funding. So come on, help us out here.
Pushing it.
But for those of you who are brand new to this, there are opportunities for you to be able to join us. You can see the little banner down at the bottom right there, but that is our link if you want to be part of the OTRA vote. We do put our scores directly up against the OTRA voters or the On the Ring Apron voters. And right now, they're kind of taking us to the woodshed at the moment. We need to do some work here, but you can see down at the bottom our scores so far. We're about halfway through season 6. SummerSlam usually marks about the halfway point. A chance for a couple folks maybe to get our first triple-digit year. We've never had a year where someone's crossed over 100. But the OTRAs and myself are both in the 50s, and Alyssa's at 48. Yeah, so 100. It's only 3.
Yeah.
How many
40.
toothpicks? She has 40. Yeah, she's down here. But you can see we have these nice little banners that run across the bottom now.
Yeah.
This is going to be some fresh stuff. I'm looking forward to playing around with this. Oh, I've been having a blast with this thing. So, hopefully, tell your friends about it and, come in and join us. We're going to be doing this with this new stuff. We're also going to start doing watch-alongs. I believe we spoke about that. So.
No worries.
Cool. I was going to say, I just need to be able to see it so I can know what the heck I'm clicking because we don't have an admin. We can't afford one of those people yet. So we're going to have ourselves an opportunity. But either way, let's go ahead and move into our first match on the card here. Let me make sure I find the right one here. But that is going to be for the NXT Tag Team titles, as we will see Hank Walker and Tank Ledger have an opportunity to take on the members of DarkState. Once again, you can see the cool little thing down at the bottom where it'll tell you who we're talking about in the event that we forget. But ultimately, Hank and Tank shocking the world at Stand and Deliver and winning the championships. But now you have to turn your attention to their toughest defense up to this point in that of the members of DarkState. We've seen DarkState go up against all the best members of the NXT roster and the TNA roster too. And they seem to be systematically just finding ways to continue to keep winning. So it gets a little tricky at this point. So now we have to sit here and determine, got to lean in here, exactly how we want to. That is not the right match. It is not. There we go.
Okay. Back to
Technical difficulties, actually user difficulties. But either way, DarkState has been running through everybody, but they've been doing it really on their terms. Now you have really the first opportunity for DarkState to prove that they can do it in a ring setting as well against two champions who I think most people believe were not going to get such, the opportunity. But now here they are as not just champions, but they've also been champions for months at this point. So it is curious to see, will they be able to have maybe for the first time an advantage over DarkState because of it now being in the ring with rules and everything else versus it just being a free-for-all? Also, we do take comments on this now, so if anybody wants to say anything, you also can directly interact with us as well. So hey, let us know your thoughts on the matches. But either way, ladies.
Okay, I can tell you, DarkState. DarkState gives me the Shield vibe. That's what it gives me. And to kind of follow in the footsteps of the Shield is not a bad way to go. But the fact not only are you're given the vibes of not only looking like them, but running through everyone in NXT. The Shield didn't do it on NXT. They did it on the main roster. They came in and started, just taking out every small name, every big name, every name in general. And that's what DarkState is doing too.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I'm pretty sure I think all the Shield members are doing pretty good in their career. So, it's not a bad formula to go after.
Yeah. And Hank and Tank, they're not slouches either. Let's go ahead and put it out there. They're not slouches. They've held these titles for how long? A couple of months now?
A couple of months now. They want them at Stand and Deliver.
Okay. So, see, if we're going to have anybody go up against DarkState, they wouldn't have been my first pick. Let me go ahead and put that out there. But, they're right up there on the list of people that I feel like could do it if they game plan, they do their research, they do their homework. But, DarkState seems like they try to throw everybody off. They might show you one thing, but then they flip the script and you don't know what's coming. So, I don't know.
When it comes to Hank and Tank, I'll be the first one to say I did not expect them to be where they are. I'm not going to lie to you. And that's no shade at them. Let me start with that. That's no shade at them. Who did they take this off of?
Fraxium.
That is correct.
The fact that you take it off of Fraxium, you have.
So, that shows you they're no slap.
No, that's right.
Fraxium was easily one of the best tag teams in NXT for
quite some time.
A while. There was Fraxium and then there was everyone else.
Exactly.
So the fact that Hank and Tank were trusted to take the titles off really shows you the growth that they've had since they've started. And then when it comes to DarkState, I think you were absolutely correct. I have to agree. They are, when you see them, there's always that element of surprise.
Right.
You never really know who's going to do what. You just kind of have to watch them. And then they really do be coming up out the dark. So it's like, dang, where they going to be at? There are 4 of them. So you never know. They definitely have the numbers advantage when it comes to Hank and Tank, but also Hank and Tank are no slouches. So
I just wonder if Roman, because Roman's got a lot going on with his family, and then Seth's got a lot going on with him and his family, and then Dean, same thing. Do y'all ever think they sit back and they look at the fact that they're following in our footsteps?
Absolutely,
probably. Yeah.
We should be proud that we, for a group that was getting underestimated, didn't have a chance. The Shield. There's a group of people following in our footsteps, unlike that other team that came before DarkState.
Well, the Shield just pushed the envelope.
They
basically said, look, we don't care if you're the biggest dog in the yard. We don't care if you're the biggest name on the roster. We'll take you out. Hands are E for everyone, as you would love to point out. So, opportunities. But either way, we'll go to our selections here. And again, if you're a part of our audience, I see a handful of people that are in there. So don't be shy. Feel free to speak up. Let's have some conversation here. You may even get your comment listed up here on the bottom, but you see the link to our YouTube page where that way you can be able to cast your votes and become part of our OTRA universe. So be sure to do that. I have the lead at the moment, so I am going to get a chance to pick first, and I see a title change here. I like what they are doing with DarkState, and now it is time for the trust they've been put in to be justified. I also think that there are a handful of people that are inside of DarkState that have very successable future, aspirations.
Yeah.
You look at someone like Dion Lennox. You look at, really, I'd argue at least 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, I know. Keep it there, honey. But either way, there's opportunities there. So I like DarkState too. I like a title change here.
See, this one's a head and a heart. I like to think. I'm a little tossed up in between, but I think if DarkState is going to get it done, I like seeing it here. I don't see this really going like, oh, we're going to have a little battle back and forth. So I like title change. Yeah. I had to convince myself.
Uh-oh.
Mind the background noise.
The little one has escaped, and remember, we are on live stream, so you can easily go that way.
All right. I'm going to pick Hank and Tank. I know I said I know I sat here and said what I said, but don't get me wrong. DarkState's great. I feel like taking the titles off of Axiom, I feel like they can hold them a little longer. I don't know what the next PLE is going to be, but I feel like they can get there,
And this could very well be that one where, it
So
may take two or three shots.
Right.
But the numbers game eventually is gonna, play to Darkstate's favor
I
almost always does.
I want to see, what is it, one, and then I want them to split tie, rubber match or whatever. That's what I want to see.
That'll work. All right. Well, like I said, our first one in the books in terms of live streaming. And speaking of our live streams, the one that we've got next week for Clash in Paris, we'll be doing one next Wednesday. It's already on our channel. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you take the time to book it. And also, of course, make sure you go to our YouTube page so that way you can be able to sign up for the post. But it's important to us. For On the Ring Apron, it'll be our 100th episode. Unbelievable. We've done 100 of these. Not too shabby for something that was just something to help kill the time during the pandemic. But we've turned this into something else, and we wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. So, we appreciated the whole one of you that's in the crowd right now. But, I was going to say, hey, one's better than zero, But at the end of the day, everybody had to start somewhere. So let's move into match number 2 here. I'm going to go ahead and drop this thing here, and the little ticker goes away. And that is going to be one that was put together, and I believe I've been having a blast with talking about this one, but it is going to be a mixed tag team match for the pride, for North American pride, if you will, as the current NXT North American champion, All Ego, Ethan Page. They can't see you right now because I have a thing on the screen. It's okay. And she'll teaming up with another fellow Canadian and former proud United States champion, now turned proud Canadian, Chelsea Green. Of course, with her secret Hervis, no doubt, in tow. They will do battle against 2 very proud former United States Olympians, that in former NQCC member Tavion Heights, and also that of not just an Olympian, but gold medal Olympian in Tyra Steele, who will be making her NXT in-ring debut after coming up from Evolve. She came up just short of being able to be the first Evolve champion. That, of course, is right now Callie Armstrong. But it'll definitely be curious to see just how much trust they're going to give to Tyra right off the bat. So we end up, having a chance to take a look at this one. And, of course, you have the veteran presence of a 19-year vet of Ethan Page, and of course, the well over a dozen years and main roster capabilities of Chelsea Green, going up against 2 people who have yet to have a single match on the main roster, and Tyra Steele hasn't had one even on NXT up to this point. A few appearances, but no matches. Now you all of a sudden put them not just in NXT, but in a PLE together. So experience advantage heavily favors Page and Green here. But, the youth will bring out the ruthless aggression, I guess, if you will. Is we better say that now while we have the chance. But I'm liking where the story is going. It's provided a lot of humor for sure. But also, definitely having the opportunity to build up 2 new stars.
Boy, all I know is when we were watching last night, was it last night? Hold on.
2 nights ago.
2 nights ago. Their segment was easily the funniest one. I'm sorry. Ethan Page and Chelsea Green had me on the floor. Because it was so funny how they'd go from, we're going to be dignified Canadians to, if you want to go there, we can go there, back to, they'll book. They look. Let's see if they'll book.
Lord.
They bugged.
They bugged.
We're back to being peaceful Canadians. How dare you? So, it was absolutely hilarious. And honestly, who else would play the role better
than these 2?
Exactly. And then when it came to our 2 Olympians, they said, y'all want to sit up here and talk? Y'all thought y'all ate?
Give me that plate.
Give it a plate. Okay. So, I think the build-up to this match has been quite hilarious. I just look forward to seeing.
Well, you have Ethan Page. Ethan has.
Ego.
Ethan, he's grown on me. Like, he came in, I couldn't stand him. He was annoying.
Oh my god.
No offense, Chelsea Green was too. But then you learn to kind of not like the characters, but you learn.
You
to
learn
love
she's
them.
hilarious.
And then you hear the backstories for a lot of these characters. Like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But then you also like see what they go through, their evolution. You're like, they're taking this seriously. They love what they do. This is their craft. And, you know, if you look at Chelsea Green.
Unreal.
And Unreal, you see where she came from. So she's having fun, but she's taking it seriously.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that she's been here for as long as she has, and I feel like, honestly, with all respect, she has been undervalued, underestimated, and so much more for someone who gives her all of this business. For her to be paired with Ethan Page, honestly, with all respect, I feel like they can go back and forth between NXT and Raw and
wherever you need.
wherever, exactly. And I'm kind of hoping that would work if they're going to continue to do this. I hope this is just not a one-off. Now, on the flip side, Tavion Steele had to work his butt off just like everybody else to get out of no quarter.
Tavion Heights.
My bad. What did I say?
Tavion Steele. I mean, what a great team. They both have worked there. Hey, trademark, quick.
My bad.
I said, wait. Wait.
Yeah, yep. I'm thinking he had to work his butt off to get out of no quarter catch.
Oh, yeah. He had to earn his way out.
Like Miles Warren.
Charles can't keep anybody in right now.
Except for Ren.
Except for Ren, who wants to keep staying. She remember he wanted in.
But you know, that's not what we're talking about right now. I'm just saying, for Tavion to link up and actually work with Miss Steele, I think it's going to be an interesting combo. First of all, you have 2 Canadians, you have 2 Americans, you have
They're both Olympians.
they're all the other team is both Olympians, and then it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a little good back and forth. I want to see how it's going to play out.
And I definitely look forward to seeing, exactly what kind of build that they can give to Tyra May, now getting that push. The problem is, though, it's very hard from at least the experience for a lot of them when you come in as as strictly an Olympian, and that's what essentially got your foot in the door. Sometimes it's hard to break that stereotype. Kurt Angle was the one, him and Mark Henry are the two that really kind of broke that mold. But then you also look at Gable Steveson, who just got his first MMA signing earlier this week. But there was no love or want for him at all. So sometimes it's hard, I think, to shut that stereotype, that, you're a great amateur wrestler, which means you can't be a great professional wrestler. And obviously, Kurt Angle really being kind of the exception that makes the rule. So Tyra, has some work in front of her.
Oh, yeah.
Tavion has all the build. They trusted him enough to go for a month in Japan to go represent WWE last year. So we know what he's capable of in terms of the trust level with NXT. So I really do feel like, mid-card to, NXT to the cusp of NXT champion is definitely within his grasp. The other team, though, however, just the experience factor is going to play a significant role. So, we move to our picks here. And Alyssa, you'd be up first on this one. What you thinking?
Part of me really wants to go for the American team because, America, yeah.
Woo!
Everything.
America!
I hear the eagle thing in my head. Like, I hear the, whatever. But I cannot ignore the experience. Sorry, I can't do it. So I'm going to have to go. And especially, they have the experience and they have the numbers game. Like,
Secret Harvest down there,
come
too.
on,
So.
Secret Harvest. We can't count them out. I'm going to have to go with the Canadian team.
Page and Green.
Yes, Page and Green.
All righty. Kia?
With all respect to Steele and Tavion, I feel like in time, I feel like they're gonna put on a good show.
Oh yeah,
but I feel
absolutely.
Like in time, if they stay together and they do their thing and they work at it, then I feel like it'll be a good build up to what could come next for them. But with all respect, you literally sit here and you watch Chelsea, do what she's been doing for the last, we'll say 1-2 decades at best, and then you see Ethan Page, who also came over here and he's been doing this for quite a while. Experience is everything, and if you don't have experience, then you have to work up to it. So for my pick, it's going to be the Canadian team, Ethan Page and Chelsea Green. And that's with or without the Secret Service, honestly, because I think Ethan Page.
I think the Herbis is what makes it fantastic.
I
Though
think with all respect, Ethan Page can do it by himself. You know, we saw what he's done to everybody else in the past.
I don't think he's above power bombing somebody through a lady through a table.
I don't think so
He's
either.
one of the few. I don't get that vibe that he would have a problem.
But
with
I
that.
think also while doing that, I feel like we sit here and talk about who protects who. I feel like Ethan Page will powerbomb you through a table, but I feel like he's going to also protect you at the same time.
Absolutely.
But let's move on.
I still need to make my pick.
Oh, my bad.
I'm going Page and Green as well. I think the experience factor is too much. This is going to be used to build both of them up. Apparently, they feel Tyra May is done what she needed to do. And to be perfectly honest, I mean, that may be one of the reasons why she didn't win the Evolve Championship, is because maybe that requires her to stay down there longer. And maybe they're like, look, we're wasting our time or wasting her time by keeping her down there. So at the end of the day, you know, it may be a better route to have her go ahead and make her NXT, and let's see what kind of reception she gets. And obviously, I've made my comments on Tavion. They're going to look fantastic. Page and Green are two of the best at being able to make their opponents look great. But I think you would be foolish to ignore the experience factor here. So I like Page and Green to sneak away with this one, if you will. Yeah, probably. Either way, let's move to our third match on the card here. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. And it is going to be one that is kind of becoming a budding rivalry that took place just before Great American Bash and ended up, it only took one team up and one shot to the back with a belt to end what was a very quick friendship. More on that, I'm sure, here in a moment. But this one has turned into the intense rivalry right now on WWE's Yellow and Gold brand, as the Juggernaut, Jordynne Grace, will go one-on-one with NXT's newest signee, or at least most recent one, the Glamour, in Blake Monroe.
With all respect, I hope she. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And I'm going to say it with all love in the world. And I'm hoping Jordynne Grace hears this from my mouth to your ears.
Hear it, girl. Hear it.
Here it comes. Hear it, hear it, hear it.
Beat her. I'm not saying beat her. I'm saying whoop her, make her non-glamorous, because it's not working. The fact that she did what she did to you at Evolution is a costing. It's atrocious. And you need to do everything in your power to take her out. Put her on the shelf for me. Please. No, put her on the shelf.
She's only been here a month and a half. You're mad at her already?
Did you see what she did at Evolution, or was I the only person there?
Yeah, we were present.
And guess what? It's not because I am who I am. I saw with exactly. I saw with my two eyes what she did. The fact is, nothing against Jacy, Jayne, and nothing against that the team of Fatal Attraction, Influence. You know what? I'm thinking about movies. That's not the point of it is, I feel like Jordynne Grace, and I'm not the biggest fan of Jordynne Grace, so let's go ahead and put it out there. But for this match, I'm 100% behind you. Beat her. Put her ass on the shelf. I do not care, because I know someone in that crowd's going to want to see the same thing that I want to. Don't touch me. If you do, no, I don't want to see that. Just go.
We don't?
No, you do. I do not.
It's okay. And that's been the one button that Monroe's been trying to push with Jordynne, is they're saying, oh, you're just doing this because you're always angry and you always want revenge and you're wanting everything else. While Jordynne has been cool as a cucumber nearly every step of the way once she finally had a chance to go home, collect herself. And now at this stage, you really feel like she's come in with a game plan, but also is saying, look, I'm about to show you what ugly really is.
Right.
And you're not ready for this.
That's the one thing I wanted to add. Blake is being a very good heel.
Oh,
Let
absolutely.
me go ahead and put that out there. She's doing her job. She's getting under our skin. So we have to commend her for that. Gotta give her flowers there. I don't like how she's playing on her insecurity stuff. And on Jordynne Grace's insecurities. She tried to come in and be your friend. And I get it. Some people just don't do friends, and that's fine. But like, golly, you had to take her title off. You have to go there. Dang. So now that means she gotta owe you a receipt.
2 or 3.
or 4, because she used to sit there and made me run in the rain.
Right,
Got done.
right.
Ooh, I
Give my
forgot about,
crazy work.
I forgot about
I'm
that.
already over here fighting for my life, and you want to play with me anyway. So yeah, I feel like it's receipt time, and honestly, I wouldn't be mad at it. Let's get her a little rough. Let's give her that. Let's recreate, the belt shot. Like, I don't know why a belt would be out there, but we could find one. Like, we could donate one for the cause.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got plenty of them right over there. The OTRA belt's hiding
I
over
said
there. I
for
wouldn't
cause,
mind that.
though.
Wouldn't mind it being on TV for
I
us.
said for the cause. I didn't hand me fired. Anyway, but yeah, so that's how that is. And that's how that's gonna go. But yeah, let's get to these picks. Let's see how everybody's picking.
Now, the interesting part behind all of this that, I want to throw out there is the fact that, we all know what Blake is capable of with her time at AEW, obviously under a different name. But you look at this will be her first opportunity for the WWE and NXT side to be able to see if Blake can swim in the shark-infested waters. We know Jordynne can, and despite the fact that she is playing on this mindset that, there's insecurities and that I've always been smaller, I've always not been as attractive, I'm built more than the average woman, or at least physically. So, it has, definitely played on Jordynne's psyche. So it is curious to see if the mind games are going to work in the end in favor of Blake Monroe. Kia, you're up first on this one. Who you got? This is just a standard singles match.
Okay, I've got Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace will get it done. You have to think. After what you did to me at Evolution. What you did to me at Evolution, that's still sitting in the back of my mind. And then everything else that has built up to it. Oh yeah, Jordynne Grace most definitely.
The receipts got to come.
All 4 of them, 8 of them. I don't know, whatever.
I'm going to go Blake Monroe, and it is going to definitely be a slink away type of win. But I feel like this has all the makings of one that's going to be the one, because one of the hardest things that NXT was having trouble doing was trying to get the crowd behind Jordynne Grace. And I really feel like by putting her up against Blake Monroe, the super heel, if you will, I think is going to do wonders for her ability to be able to get the crowd behind her, to get a sympathy vote or anything else like that. But I think it's important that Grace, has the backing if you're going to use her as a prominent face. The little one's trying to run in, so we're having to put the brakes on him because I don't want to have to go back here and blur out folks. But either way, but at the end of the day, I think that you also have to build up Blake Monroe, because I don't think you're going to be keeping her in NXT for too long. Considering she has gone as high as being world champion at other promotions as well. That's not saying others haven't as well. But I think she's lined up to be on the fast track. So you need her to pick up some W's to make her relevant towards the title pictures and whatnot. And I think this is a good opportunity. So I like Blake Monroe here.
You see, I have to go the exact opposite. I feel like Jordynne has paid those dues since she's been here.
I will say that you are correct.
Jordynne has had all of the matches where she has had to bide her time. Jordynne has had the matches where she has had to take the L's. And I think yes, Blake will inevitably run into her little time where she will start winning everything. But I feel like Jordynne has been at the bottom of the barrel long enough. Y'all need to put some respect on her name. And I feel like every time y'all put her in that picture, every time y'all get her ready to go and start taking that step of legitimacy into the next, layer of whatever, however you want to envision it, I think y'all sit there and y'all do her dirty. And I think it's time to pay up. So I would like
to do that.
Yeah, it's time to not do her dirty. Baby was already running in the rain with the neck brace. We've done our time. It's time for her to start looking at the title picture, and I feel like the first step to that for real, this time, fourth time, getting a little wild out here. But yeah, I think the first step would be putting her first big nemesis in the dirt, where she belongs.
Under the dirt.
Not in the dirt, not woe.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't promote that.
I'm not promoting murder. I'm not promoting murder.
Not death, but But I do think it's time for her to get her look back and time to put some respect.
First of all, if she can't
On
put
that
her
end.
under the dirt,
I got Jordan.
can she at least drag her through the mud and make it more?
Yeah,
fun?
you can. We can
Make
go
her-
ahead and
make
get the
her-
rain going. We
her
can make
nice
that
and wet. Right.
You know, when she had to put her nice shoes through there. Yeah, we could just go ahead and take her through that little water like that. But yeah,
That works out.
I like Jordan Grace.
Perfect. All right. Well, we're at the halfway point of our show. We're gonna, 3 matches to go, staying in the women's division as we go further. But before we continue forward, I do want to allot about a minute or two in this episode, and I don't feel like it's appropriate to hold this until the end. But we hear it on the ring apron. Huge fans of Naomi. Huge fans of Trinity. Huge fans of Jimmy.
Big Jim.
Let's make sure, or as Kevin called him, gigantic Jim. Because he said he's the nicest member of the entire family, unlike the cousin and the other cousin that are over there causing mischief. But at the end of the day, she put me especially, but all of us through emotional turmoil in the last week. But the news from a standpoint of somebody who has met her parents, had an opportunity to be able to see her so many times in person, communications, conversations with her and her family. We at On the Ring Apron want to extend our congratulations to Trinity and to Joshua. Wait, wrong guy.
No.
Wrong one. The other one. Jonathan.
Oh, my goodness. It's Jonathan for 2.
Who was about to get real happy was here for a second.
Never mind. I was going to say, how does the genetics work on that? But either way, we've all going all the way back to the Total Divas, storylines and whatnot. We've all had the opportunity to know, and Trinity has taken the time to speak on the matter, and it's important that people realize that this is a humongous deal for both of them, because there was a lot of times and a lot of doctors who told them that this was unlikely to ever be possible. So I think from their perspective, nothing short of a miracle. And, Trin, directly from our hearts, take care of yourself. You could never disappoint us. I don't care what you thought when you found out. If your first thoughts were of us, perish that thought. We are not ever going to be gone. Or
You don't want me to say what I had to just say. Keep going.
Exactly. But we want to wish you all the best, and take the time you need. We wish the same thing to Becky when she was going to have Rue and whatnot. So we definitely want the opportunity for you to be able to do the same. Jimmy, make sure she's make sure she takes her vitamins, stay away from that chocolate, not no more than she needs. Otherwise that baby will be flying out of Muso, doing backflips and super kicks already.
Are you going to make him do what you did when she was trying to eat the chocolate on that one episode?
Why do you think I made that?
You want to do her like that?
But either way, congratulations from us. We're happy for y'all. We'll miss you while you're gone, but this is one of the best moments you'll go through, if not the best moment of your life. So, take every second to enjoy it. But with that, let's get back into our card. We're going to move into our 4th match on the card, as we said, staying in the women's division. But this is going to be our first multi-person singles match, if you will, featuring 3 of the top ladies from our NXT women's division, that in Jaida Parker, Lola Vice, and Kelani Jordynne, a triple threat match with the winner becoming the number 1 contender to the NXT Women's Championship, currently held by Jayne. Now, all 3 of these women have picked up humongous wins. Lola has had the opportunity to go battle at Evolution. She's had the ability to be able to battle in AAA and be in prominent matches, while also Jaida and Kelani have had the opportunity to be able to compete against former champions and be able to do so and be successful. It's very clear that these 3 are representing the next, I guess, generation or sub-generation of the women's division that is going to carry the rivalries in terms of the main championship going forward. So now we look at the matches that are placed in front of us, and it's really curious because you could see any of these 3 as number 1 contender. However, only one can be, and obviously Jayne has a lot on her plate. So you look at the pathway, this may ultimately be the championship match because of all the stuff that Jacy's having to deal with right now. Eventually, all that is going to catch up with her, and is this the perfect time for one of these three to capitalize? So, ladies, what are your thoughts?
I feel like her downfall is going to be. I feel like Jacy's downfall is not going to be Jacy. It's not going to be her. So let's go. Even with as much she has on her plate, I don't feel like she's going to be her own downfall. I feel like Jasmine Nix, the oddball in the group, out. I feel like she's going to be the downfall because she keeps making all these decisions without speaking to the group or speaking to Jacy and everything else. And it's like you're trying to deliver for me what I'm not asking you to do. But also at the same time, going back to the three, with all respect, I feel like they've all done their big one. I feel like they all continue to do their big one. You have Lola, like you said, Steven, who's going off and doing different things, and she's representing not just NXT, but she's representing herself very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Miss Parker, who
Miss Parker,
she's gonna do what she's gonna do. If she's gonna do one thing, she's going to talk smack, and she's going to back it up. So I'm waiting for the moment she talks smack and she backs it up, and she does what she has to do to get where she has to be. When it comes to Kelani, I'm trying to figure out when did she go from heel to face. Like overnight, because I feel like that's kind of going to play a role too, in my opinion.
I think they try to see if they would carry her over as a heel for a little while, and I just don't think it ever managed to pan itself the way they did.
Okay.
Also, the call-ups of Julia and Stephanie Baker kind of left some gaps, and ultimately they elected that she is going to be kind of that, not necessarily the full out face, but the one that can kind of carry either side depending upon what kind of story you need her in.
All right. I mean, either way, I feel like she's going to do what she needs to do to make it work. So heel or face or right down the middle, she's going to make it happen.
Well, this one, you really can see all three of them. Like,
I agree. I don't think you can go wrong with any of the three.
Honestly, you cannot. If you want somebody who's going to talk their smack and get the crowd involved, you go with Jaida. If you want somebody who's going to be like acrobatic and flipping and entertaining, you go with Kelani. If you want somebody who's going to be a little bit of both, honestly.
I was literally about to say, if you want somebody who's going to talk the smack, Lola can do both.
Lola can do both. So it's like, honestly, you just have to kind of decide who is the next person that you're ready to push. All three of them can handle their own. I don't question that for a second. There are some times when you go into matches and you're like, well, it's obviously not going to be them. Like,
they're there to take the pin.
You know they're there to take the pin. For once in a little while, I don't know what's take this pin. I'm not going to lie to you. But, I mean, the one thing I do know for sure is this is going to be a great match. You definitely know there's going to be some smack talk involved. And, yeah, this really will just kind of shape where NXT is going. And I think Jacy is going to have her hands full.
I agree. And that's the one thing I can say about all of this as well, before we move to picks here, is that you're ready to see what the next lineup is in terms of, what the NXT women's division. They've stacked it as the best women's division on the planet. And they are being lined up as kind of the big three to be that next little sub-generation that's going to come up. You just had the small, albeit, only about a year-ish run of Julia and Stephanie Baker, and Zarya by a certain extent because she came up around the same time. Now Zarya obviously has taken her role with Sol Ruka. And I honestly would argue that Sol is kind of that four horsewomen, kind of the fourth beat in all of this, in terms of her representing the North America or the Women's North American Championship as well as the Speed Championship. She's the only one of the two that's actually, showing it off. No shot against El Grande there, but it is what it is. But whoever you are, I like the idea of these three, going to blows, and let's see how things end up panning out. I'm a fan of all three, so I agree with. I'm going to piggyback off really both of y'all in saying, that this has one where I really don't think you can go wrong with your choice, as long as this isn't the person who's just going to get built up just to be bounced back down again.
Right.
You know, make sure that whoever it is looks strong. So we'll go ahead and move on to our picks here. Again, you can see the little link down below to go to our YouTube channel /@OnTheRingApron/posts. Not only can you like and subscribe, tell your friends about us and watch any of our other live streams and watch parties and anything else, but also that's where you can put in your OTRA votes. I am going to go with Jaida Parker. I think that she has been the one that has, as we all are well aware, talk the smack, run the gambit. But at the same time, I look at Kelani Jordynne, and she has had that privilege of being that first champion and a well-deserving champion at that. Lola has been trusted to be that face in AAA that comes from her, her Latin American and Cuban heritage. So I really like the idea of, now Jaida getting a chance to finally show that she not only deserves to be in the title picture, but actually is able to make her way to it. I think this has all the makings of one person doing all the work, and then, somebody gets thrown out of the ring to do so. But I think Jada's high-stepping her way to a NXT championship shot.
See, I see that, but also Lola has been putting in work.
She has.
Lola has been on NXT. Lola has been at AAA. Lola has been doing everything. Yes, Kelani. Whoa, let me not mix that up. Just try my. Whoa. Yes, Kelani has had that first title run. Yes, she did her thing. And Jaida is not a slouch. None of the women in this match are going to be slouches.
Not one bit.
But I don't know. My gut is telling me Lola. So I'm going to go with Lola.
And that's why, again, I think there's no wrong pick.
There's absolutely
I can justify all three. But okay, Lola. Kia?
I'm going to say, with all the respect in the world, I feel like Kelani's had her moment, and she had her big one. I feel like she really did, and y'all were there in attendance when she did her big one. Don't get me wrong, at some point in the future, again, she's going to do her big one again, and when she does, we know Steve will be pulling for her.
If I'm going to pull for mother, I got to pull for daughter, too. So
Sure, that's all well and great. Jaida Parker, I feel like she could be a potential. She could do, she talks smack, she backs it up. She comes to rumble, let's put it like that. With all respect, Lola has been putting in the time and the effort and the work, and you've seen background stories, and you've seen her out there in the ring, and she's come from just dancing to fighting to working with Shayna to beating up Shayna to going to AAA, coming back to NXT.
That was only about a year ago.
Either way, she is doing what she needs to do to get noticed, to get herself out there, and not just for it to be, a run in the sun. She's here for the long run. She's here, and I feel like, with all respect, she is the most deserving out of the other two. No offense, I'm saying what I'm saying, and this is opinionated, so don't come for me in the comments.
That's the joy of the show. It's like our opinion means something.
It's my opinion. Right, don't come for me in these
So
comments.
official pick is
It's definitely Miss Vice.
It's Vice.
All
All
right,
right,
I
well,
want to see what she's going to wear, what she's going to look like, because
good
she's
Lord.
going to be.
All three are going to show up and show out. Well, either way.
Next.
And I don't, object to the fact that, I think this one has all the makings to be the match of the night, and that's no disrespect to the rest of the card. But I think these are your three best, and they're going to have an opportunity to be able to show it as they go along. But let's move into our penultimate match on the card, again, staying in our women's division. But finally, we move into our championship match within the women's division. But it actually is on the TNA side that this match is going to have its championship match, as for only the third time in the history of WWE and NXT, a TNA Knockouts World Championship will be defended on an NXT Premium Live event, as the double champ, or champ, whatever you want to call her, in that of the NXT Women's and TNA Knockouts World Champion Jacy Jayne will do battle in a triple threat match against former champion Masha Slamovich and one half of the Knockouts World Tag Champs, Ash by Elegance, formerly known as Dana Brooke. when she was here in WWE. Now, Ash and Masha have definitely both been able to make the best of their opportunity in TNA. The Elegance brand has absolutely solidified Ash, as well as the other members of the Elegance brand, even the concierge, if you will, to that superstar level status, that they're one of the most popular groups they have over in TNA, and were able to show it on NXT this last week by clashing directly head-to-head with Fatal Influence. And then, of course, you see Masha, while youthful at the same time, has proudly been that champion that has been willing to go in, and she's going to tell you exactly how she feels. And even if she gets punched in the mouth for it, a la Bloodsport a few years ago with Shayna, she's going to go in and back it up. Jacy, of course, on the other hand, is the one who is the wild card in all of this, because she is pulling, once again, double duty as she tries to juggle being both the Knockouts World Champion as well as the NXT Women's Champion. And eventually, at some stage, it's got to catch up with her, right? So triple threat rules don't have to be pinned or submitted or be involved in the decision. So the numbers don't favor Jacy, but also you look at the fact that with Fatal Influence and the Elegance brand likely being canceled out by each other at ringside, this should be just the three of them.
It should be, but will it? Will it really?
Guess we'll find out.
Some shenanigans.
Sure.
Yeah.
Again,
There you go.
I'm looking at it.
A well-oiled machine. Close enough.
I'm looking at it from the perspective, and I'm going to say I love the fact that it's like pretty much for the last 3 matches have been women's matches.
Mm-hmm. Just the way the card turned out.
Again, Jayne has been through way more than I feel like. Just like we're like speaking in just in NXT, Jayne has been through way more, but also at the same time, I feel like Jacy, she has been proving herself time in and time out, and day in and day out, with or without help. She went from being under the tutelage of Mandy Rose, and then Mandy leaving, and then she and Gigi were together for a little bit, and then they had fallen out, and then she teamed up with Fatal Influence, and now they're, doing their thing. I just feel like Jacy has gone through a whole lot. To me, she reminds me of another Lola. She deserves her flowers. She deserves her roses, and I feel like winning those titles actually showed that, and the fact that she has retained those titles in matches, winning them and retaining them says a lot for her, for who she is. When it comes to Masha, she's great. She's big. She's brute. She is woman. But
Hear her roar.
right. Can you put her in the ring? Can she actually do her thing, or is she gonna fall flat like she did with Shayna? And then you have Ash, who we know is Dana Brooke, who while she was over here, she did her thing too, going to another brand. What does that look like coming back over here and now wrestling for 2 separate promotions in like just the ring right now? Is she going to? Are the 2 individual teams going to get involved? And if they do, does that favor Masha? That's what I'm looking at right now. So I'm looking at a wide range of craziness taking place in this match.
She is the one person who doesn't really have, that faction of people that's backing her up. So you do wonder if this is the perfect opportunity for her to kind of run through the chaos.
She left her people she left them at TNA.
Yeah, this match screams chaos.
Right.
Like, you're going to have people getting involved. You're going to have the underhanded tactics. You're going to have foolishness. I mean...
Not the foolishness.
I mean, like, we know what Fatal Influence will do. They'll go over, they'll hit you while the ref is looking at something else. Ooh, look at me, pop. And then,
what?
Oh my gosh, I was on the side. I don't know. And then
What are you talking about?
right, literally, it wasn't even that good for real. Like,
Wasn't even that good
wasn't even that
after
good.
you've had 3 of them.
But no, I mean, so you know what Fatal Influence is going to bring. I've seen the Elegance brand a couple of times now. And you know that Ash's team will kind of have her back. person I feel for is Masha, because Masha is coming in alone. And I think she'll do fine, and I think she'll hold her own. I think she'll definitely be at that disadvantage. Maybe the teams will maybe the extra people will get banned, like in the middle, or they'll get thrown out. Yeah. Something like that. That way it's a fair three-way. But all I do know is this. Everybody's always counting Jacy.
Right.
I do know that. Every time I turn around, I'm over here like, I don't know. And that girl finds a way.
She finds a way.
She finds a way. Whether it's with interference, roll up, she's a heel. That's what you expect. But she finds a way. So we'll see if it's different.
And that's going to be the joy of a match like this, because you obviously have, the pride of both brands on the line. Obviously, both TNA World Championships are both being held by NXT superstars at this time. This is the one opportunity the TNA has to be able to try to get one of them back on their own brand. Masha is, of course, the one who lost it in the first place.
Mhm.
And Ash by Elegance has been the one. It's been the one title in TNA that she's had a hard time being able to really get a foothold on, despite the fact that she has typically the numbers advantage. But just for now, though, I mean, it seems like the opportunity is there for the Elegance brand to finally take that next step up out of just being a great tag group, but also now holding a major singles championship. But let's go ahead and move into our picks here. So let me move this little screen here, and Alyssa, you are up first.
All the people playing around and everything, I like Jacy to retain. I hate to say it, but again, she's like a roach. She's earning that title. Oh, snap. Let me not just say that out of context. For people who don't watch our show, roach is actually a good thing. It just means like you get doubted, you get back up, you get knocked down, you get back up. It's like the roaches you see at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're trying to go in your kitchen. Like, sit over there and you try and hit them, then they get back behind the toaster. Like, it gets crazy, but they do it. So, yeah.
Just keep finding ways to just keep on moving.
So, yeah, I like Jacy to retain.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. The other two are great. They really are. Again, Jacy has done more than her fair share, has done enough to retain those titles. And again, I want to see her. That is my vote. That is my pick. I want to see Jacy retain. I like what she's doing with them. I like the fact that, even though she's kind of turned up a little snobby, a little bit, she has reasons for why she does what she does. And in my mind, I believe, it's going to be what it's going to be. So, JJ.
Cool. And it's one of those where it's hard for me to remove my bias out of it, because obviously I'm very pro NXT, and that's not a slap against or a slight against TNA or any of the other groups that are out there. But, of course, I'm going to have a love for, the gold brand, as I always have. So, it's tough for me to, make sure that I am keeping myself, objective and trying to give who would be the best person to carry it on. And right now, I will agree with the two of you. I think that's Jayne. Jacy right now is playing not just the perfect heel in her own story. She's playing the perfect heel to her story and to an entire another company, just like Trick Williams is. Like,
you wanted to drop it, that's too doggone.
That's tough cookies. But also, I love this for Jacy. Getting the chance to be the side persona, if you will, of Toxic Attraction behind Mandy Rose, and now she has taken on the Mandy Rose mantle, by holding not just one but 2 championships simultaneously, albeit Mandy never got an opportunity to be able to defend both at the same time, because they merged them together right afterwards. But, we talk about how Jacy, has come further than anyone expected her to. I can guarantee you, if you ask Jacy herself, she would have always believed she was capable of this, and I don't think she would have ever doubted it for a second. I think a lot of people are just surprised because of the number of people who just got the quick, blow flash right by her. And now she is getting those flowers for the years she's put in and the number of great secondary storylines, as well as the number of people she helped build up. And just I think the idea of this TNA NXT type of thing, especially when you know it's likely going to head to something like a War Games or something where you're going to finally have them clash head to head. I think it's got all the makings of something special. So I'm going to go with Jacy Jayne to once again find a way. She's going to find a way to get behind that microwave again or behind that stove again. And she is going to, the toaster, whatever, but she is going to find a way to get it done.
That fake plant with all the mold and the stone in it.
Not that one.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. All right, let's go with main event. So let's move into our last one here. And that is our main event for the NXT Championship. We had to wait all the way until NXT 2 nights ago in Philadelphia to find out who Oba was going to be challenged by. And it ultimately is the bouncy one, the young boy, if you will, in Javon Evans. Now, this will be Javon's first one-on-one attempt to try to win the NXT Championship. He has had multiple attempts in multi-man matches involving Trick, Oba, and a number of others along the way, but is still looking for his first opportunity to hold gold. And he has an opportunity to become only the third individual to have his first championship in NXT be the NXT title. So fun little fact. Let's see if anybody in our comments knows who the other two were, because Steve does. But either way, you look at the war that Javon had to go with against the TNA World Champion Trick Williams on Tuesday just to get the shot. He got absolutely blasted back through the announce table. He had a busted lip, a busted nose, everything else. Meanwhile, Oba is sitting up top looking absolutely fresh as a daisy. And Oba's tough enough to beat when you're at 100%. Now, all of a sudden, you've got Javon going into it. And while, of course, he'll be the fan favorite, you also have to consider the fact that he potentially may be going into this with his opponent in Javon clearly not at 100%. So, the bouncy one's going to have to come up with something big here if he wants to walk away with the NXT gold that he has wanted for so long. But I think the backing of the crowd is going to help. So, ladies, what do we think in our main event?
I'll say this. Javon been moving a little different since he got his little
Jaw buster.
Since he got his jaw shut from Ethan Page. Javon has definitely made some evolution, if you would, since being the person who just used to fly off the top rope. I mean, I can't even sit here and come up with anything bad. He beat Jasper Troy at Great American Bash. Mm-hmm. Like I walked in the Great American Bash like there's no way.
Especially when you see him in person. And
like
the camera does not give off the vibe of just how big Jasper Troy really is. He is built like a tank.
I said good grief.
I heard 340 and I'm like,
excuse me,
where?
Good God. But he has beat Jasper Troy. And I mean, and that's the whole thing that I respect about Javon. Yes, he finds ways to win matches, but also he can take a beating. Like, that man can take a beating with some of the best of them. Like, you'll just be like, okay, well, that's it. Oh, he just got knocked to the ground. All right, that'll do. Oh, he kicked out.
Oh, he's back up again.
Oh, dang, he just got hit with a chair. Oh, never mind. Dang, he just bounced off the mat like a basketball. Oh, he's still up. Okay. So I respect that about Javon. Here's the thing, though. He's going up against the Rula. The Rula is different. Like,
Rula hits you different.
I mean, honestly, he really does. Like, oh my God, that's it. The Rula is just built different, though. So.
I don't know. My thing with Javon ever since the whole Ethan Page, and I feel like here's the thing with Ethan Page, he's going to knock you into the middle of next year, like your parents would talk back to them.
Oh, but fresh one, it held off again.
But Ethan Page not only knocks you around and if he needs to, I feel like he's not only instilling get up and keep fighting, but he's instilling you need to do this for you, not for everybody else or whatever. So I feel like Ethan Page, even though he busted open his jaw, had that Joker wire shut and everything else, we saw Javon come out and want to still fight. Was fighting with Ava to still fight. So now he's come back and he's cleared. He's been cleared. Not only is he getting in the ring and fighting like he wants it, he's talking smack with Oba. He's talking smack with Trick. He's talking smack with anybody that'll listen. And it's not just, oh, I'm bouncing this up. No, that's all good and great. You're putting worms into their ear. And I feel like he's making them kind of not Oba probably. Trick. I feel like he's trying to get into the mind of Trick. I feel like he's trying to make him doubt himself to the point, okay, if I can get into your mind, I can get there. Maybe I can get you down weak enough to do what I need to do to take one of the titles. But now on the flip side, Oba didn't even like Lady Riz talking out of line, so I don't think he's going to allow for Javon to want to talk out of line. You saw what he did, and she had the family standing there. Javon is his own family by himself. He has to be his own, I got your back. We good. We got this, dog. We bout it. We will. When it comes to Oba, that's not a man. That's a breed of whatever has not been created by God himself.
Right.
All I'm saying is he's tall, he's big, he made a grandma want to jump the fences and risk it all for him. Another story for another time, okay?
Well, any of our main followers know exactly who we're talking about.
I'm just saying, Oba has been nice enough to give Javon this chance because he clearly sees something. He sees that there's potential there. And for you to give him a chance, and you're just not giving him a chance, you're talking kindly about him.
Giving him his flowers.
Exactly. Oba don't do that for many people. So when he does it for the select few, he sees something in you that says, I believe in you. Now don't take that for granted. You're still gonna whoop that ass. Okay.
He's still gonna whoop that.
So go ahead and come prepared. No. Do your research. Do what you need to do. Ask around. Ask questions. Go ahead and be prepared for this beatdown. It's going to be what it's going to be. Just that's it. I don't know how else to say it. But good luck to you, player.
Well, the Jolly Boy siren you hear down the hallway tells us that our time is nearly up. We need to put a wrap on this. The only comment I'm going to make on this is the fact that Javon definitely has reached another level ever since Ethan Page pushed him, basically past a limit that I think even he didn't know he had yet. The one thing I will note, though, is the fact that I think this one is a little more personal between him, Trick, and Oba, and because he is the one that's defined as, oh, you're the smaller one. Oh, you're the light one. Yeah, we're all African American. We're all everything else, but at the same time, he's been deemed as the one who's like, let the adults talk.
Yeah,
he goes back to let the kids go back to the kids table.
It just reminded me of what Rhea and Bianca and Charlotte were going through, except it's all men this time instead of all women. Continue, sorry.
So you look at it and you say, all right. So for Javon, I think this is not just about winning the championship. I think it's also about proving that he knows he should be the flag bearer and the standard here in NXT, and he knows it's going to take not just winning a championship, it's going to be winning the championship by beating one of the best NXT champions we've seen maybe ever, but definitely approaching Mount Rushmore level at the absolute, least at this point. Because Javon at this point is finished half the story, if you will, by beating Trick on Tuesday. And now, just 5 days later, he's got to face Oba and not even doing it at 100% either. So we do move to our last picks. For the NXT Championship, pin or submission's the only way the title can change hands. Kia, who walks out NXT champion? The ruler.
He's going to hold that title as long as he wants to. Honestly, I feel like with all respect, he might take that title to the main roster. But, the ruler, Oba Femi, he's going to retain.
I was going to say, I will say Javon is one that I had a hard time getting behind when he first got here, but he has slowly grown on me, and you can definitely see why, coming up from the Indies, coming up from from the previous promotions he worked with, why he has such a popular backing. But even if you just look at it from strictly a storyline perspective, we see a lot of Cinderella stories. This will not be one of them. I like Oba has all the favors, and everything's in his favor right now. I like Oba retaining.
And like you said, Javon has grown on us.
I've liked him from day one.
Addison really likes him from day one.
Would you?
Don't worry, you'll be introduced to them here soon. We have new people in our group.
Javon has done what you needed. He has. He's gone and taken the injuries. He's gone and he's gone up against Trick, one of his biggest supporters in the beginning, haters now. But I mean, Oba is just operating on a different level than everybody else in the men's.
Say Lola. You can't say God mode. That's
Oh,
already
yeah,
for someone else.
So we already got a guy for that
Child,
one.
anyway, don't even. But no, Oba is operating on a different level right now, and he's been one of the most. Honestly, I have to say he's been the most dominant NXT champion that I've seen since I've started watching. I mean, like Braun came close, but my God, like Oba is like.
And the
Right
fact that
there,
he's
yeah.
doing it at such an early peak in his
Literally.
career as well. I mean, I know they've already said it, but it's like
Very Gunther-esque.
Braun Breaker, Oba Femi, WrestleMania main event written all over that. That is your dream match for that next generation.
Yeah.
So
So
officially,
I like Oba to retain. Sorry. I like Javon. Oba to retain one.
you're still
I'm not sorry, though.
not sorry.
Let's go Rula.
Well, with that, that does bring it into our first live stream. Thank you so much for everybody across all of our social medias. You know, we have a bunch of them, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We're back on X again. We have Instagram, TikTok, etc. So, you know, we have opportunities to be able to, to present ourselves in a lot of ways. But, you know, this is definitely going to be that next step. And, of course, be sure to tell, your friends about us because the next one is a big one for us, our 100th episode of Top Rope Spoilers, which is going to be about Clash in Paris. That comes up next week. It will be on Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock if you're out in California. So if you're driving home, still put it on your phone, but then just Bluetooth the audio. You can just listen to our voices. Mine's not so great. Theirs is quite soothing, so don't fall asleep. But either way, parting words as we head out.
It's going to be a great one. Same words always give. It's going to be a great one.
Look forward to it.
Yeah, honestly, I do look forward to it. And go over.
Yeah.
Not much to say. I'm very few words tonight. So have a good night. Sleep well. Get plenty to eat. Shower if you can, and stay cool.
Go Oba. Okay. Bye.